A good Thursday to you. We've some terrific stories for you today on Ag AM in Kansas. Here's what's coming up.
Today we learn how energy has created opportunities. Coal-fired power plants use scrubbers to clean sulfur from their emissions. This technology led to the creation of a new industry using the gypsum byproduct to provide long-term soil improvement, resulting in increased crop yields. See how Gypsoil has taken that technology and used it to improve water infiltration and slow down runoff, ponding, crusting, compaction, and erosion. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Premier Farm and Home. Stop by or visit us at haycow.com.
Bob, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
As coal becomes more prevalent in the U.S. economy as far as it comes to energy production, there are a lot of byproducts that are now becoming available to farmers to use for soil that haven't been available in the past.
That's right, and it's a great opportunity for farmers to get access to economically priced nutrients and beneficial soil amendments. The coal-fired power plants are very interested in creating beneficial use from those byproducts rather than putting them in landfills.
Who have ever thought, scientifically, how did this ever come about? I mean, who would have ever thought a byproduct of a coal-fired power plant, gypsum, is great for the soil?
Well, the gypsum was a fortunate byproduct of taking the sulfur out of the emissions that come out of the process of burning coal. The sulfur combines with calcium, which comes in the form of limestone and creates calcium sulfate, which is gypsum. Many power plants built these scrubbers with the idea that they would have a marketable byproduct. For about the last 15, 20 years, they've been selling a great deal of it to the production of wallboard. Some 40% of the drywall in the country is made with synthetic gypsum that comes out of power plants. But after the housing crash in 2007, 2008, they didn't need as much wallboard as they once did, and so gypsum's become available for other purposes. At the same time, the Clean Air Act of 1991, I think, has resulted in more scrubbers being installed. So the amount of gypsum being produced as a byproduct has increased. Probably will be double in 2020 what it was in 2010, as much as 40 million tons of material.
Is it safe? I mean, we're talking about the Clean Air Act. We're taking it out of the air, but we're actually putting it into the ground. Is it safer?
The gypsum that comes out of the scrubbing process doesn't have any of the fly ash or any of the other byproducts from the coal burning process. It's really a manufactured product. It's manufactured by combining the sulfur with the calcium. It is chemically identical to the gypsum that comes out of gypsum mines, and it is typically much more pure because it's a manufactured product. Typically it's manufactured for use in drywall, so it's like a highly engineered manufactured product. The materials or the elements that are in it is mostly calcium and sulfur and water. There's some moisture in it. And there are a limited amount of trace metals from the coal combustion process, but they're at very low levels, somewhere between 1% and 10% of the amount of allowable metals that you would find in a process like biosolids used on agricultural land.
In the last 15, 20 seconds we have real quick, is it economical for a farmer to use?
It is in most cases. It's the payback is quite substantial in terms of the nutrient value as well as the improvement of the soils, increased yields, ultimately reduced input costs, improved crop quality and drought resistance, and reduced nutrient runoff. So it's a win-win all the way around.
Well, when we come back from break, let's talk more about that.
Purple Wave is a proud supporter of the Kansas FFA through the Bid for Blue program. Purple Wave donates a portion of the proceeds earned on certain ag assets to the Kansas FFA. Winning bidders can designate a Kansas chapter to receive the donation. To date, Purple Wave is proud to have donated over $10,000. Visit purplewave.com to learn more and to place bids on Bid for Blue assets. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by K-State Research and Extension. Knowledge for life.
Bob, thank you for staying with us this morning. Input costs continue to rise for everybody. Grain guy, producer, beef producer, swine, all of them. Is this an alternative instead of buying continually high-priced fertilizer, say from the big guys?
Well, it's a very attractive economic alternative. If in situations where sulfur is called for, gypsum is a very economical source of sulfur, and many farmers use it for that. It's an economical source of calcium, but I think the real benefit over the long run is the improvement that it makes in the quality of the soil. Makes the soil more productive. And as a result, you'd have to put less commercial fertilizer on the land to get the same kind of yields and sometimes increased yields. So it's a good economic story. Where a farm is located has an impact on the cost of gypsum because it's a large volume commodity. Application rates of a ton an acre, and getting it from where it's produced to where it's used can add a lot of cost to it. And so, we've been spending a lot of time creating distribution sites, working with distributors and, across the country to establish stockpiles so we have gypsum available. But transport cost is an issue and adds to the cost. Nonetheless, we have a very high rate of repeat customers who seem to see the value in it and return year after year to continue to add gypsum as part of their core part of their farming program.
Bob, you guys are relatively new to Kansas. Why Kansas?
Well, we've identified some supply partners here who we've now negotiated arrangements with, so we have supply in Kansas. We're really excited about it. We think the opportunity for gypsum in Kansas is really tremendous. And we're going to be moving very quickly to get our distribution network in place and make gypsum available to farmers across the state.
When we say across the state, is there a central hub that people can look at and try to start figuring their transportation costs?
Well, we're going to start in the eastern part of the state because that's closest to our supply source. But ultimately, we'll be moving material all the way across the state. As well as into nearby areas of adjacent states.
Bob, you have the opportunity to travel the country and see different farms and farm operations across the country. How's Kansas farming viewed outside of the state?
Kansas is viewed as an area that's got very progressive agriculture. Kansas State University is very highly regarded in research and in all the areas related to what we do. Kansas farmers are viewed as those who are looking for new opportunities to improve their productivity and their yields, and they're not shy about changing their farming practices. So we're excited about coming to Kansas. We think this is going to be a great market for gypsoil.
If someone wants to learn more about your business, how do they do that?
Gypsoil.com. We have everything you ever want to know about gypsum on our website. And it also has a research library on there, which has basically every bit of research that's ever been done about gypsum. You can access it through our website. So I encourage people to, the more they know about it, the more they're interested in pursuing it.
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Now another gardening tip with Annette Jackson.
Early spring is the best time to plant many of the cool season garden vegetables for your dinner table, finishing in just 4 to 12 weeks. Plant homegrown cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, lettuce, and onion plants in your garden or container. Homegrown, hardy, and healthy plants are now available at Jackson's.
Use Fertilome Gardener Special Fertilizer for your garden, or Fertilome Blooming and Rooting Water Soluble for your containers for best production.
Dr. Dan here. Whether I'm driving up and down the roads covering the state of Kansas, or I'm getting between Riley and Manhattan for my job, I'm driving a Ford truck. I'd like you to come out and visit my friends here at Dick Edwards Ford. They have a truck that'll suit your needs, whether you're looking for power with a Power Stroke diesel, or if you're looking for fuel efficiency with the new EcoBoost engine, they got a truck that's just right for you. They're located 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall in Manhattan, Kansas, and they'll bend over backwards to help you. And I'll see you down the road.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here, now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Golf Week calls it the best course you can play in Kansas. But once you play, you'll want to stay. Go for it. Firekeeper Golf Course at Prairie Band Casino and Resort is just north of Topeka off Highway 75. Our stay and play package is worth the trip. Luxury hotel room, green fees, and golf cart for two, starting at just $169.
Prairie Band Casino and Resort. Go for it!
Roy Fry Western Lifestyles brings the cowboy or cowgirl out in all of us. With a huge selection of must-have items, it doesn't matter if you're shopping for your horse, picking up some Western accessories to add that rustic charm to your home, or simply treating yourself. The knowledge and expertise to dress you your Western best is right here at Roy Fry Western Lifestyles, Highway 24 and Kansas Avenue in Topeka.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Sure Crop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
Ron, thanks for joining us this morning. Energy creates opportunity. Tell us about that.
We're using a lot of coal in our country to provide energy for electricity to power our nation. And with the coal and burning coal comes combustion products, some of which are detrimental to the environment, and so they have to be dealt with. And the Clean Air Act of 1991 suggested that we need to pull the sulfur dioxide out of these flue gases. Sulfur dioxide with rainfall creates acid rain, so we've got to eliminate the acid rain. So in the process of removing sulfur dioxide from the flue gases, it makes gypsum, a very pure form of calcium sulfate that is very, very useful wallboard. Most wallboard is coming from that source. But also in agriculture, calcium sulfate has the ability to improve soil quality. And it does so by changing soil chemistry and allowing soils to aggregate and become more garden-like. Then that allows these soils to manage rainfall, to hold water better, to give much better environment for crop rooting, soil biology. And so the soils improve and become much, much better. They become more like they were before we started farming them.
This helps with compaction, I'm assuming.
Yes, our soils today are very compactable, particularly the soils that contain clay. They're very compactable for several reasons. One, the soil chemistry oftentimes is not balanced well. The other is that just by tilling the soils, it breaks out the soil structure and causes them to become more dispersible, more compactable, which then creates problems when we get rainfall. We have runoff, we have soil eroding away from the fields. Unfortunately, with that soil or that silt goes the nutrients as well, and pesticides, other things that are attached to those clay particles, then move off the field as well. So it creates some difficulty for the environment. So it's really important that we keep that soil in the field, keep the nutrients and the things that we need to grow our crops in those fields. And having good soil structure helps allow that.
Look at a place like Kansas, and we've got such soil diversity from one side of the state to the other side of the state. How would gypsum help either parts of the state, or does it help the whole state?
That's an excellent question. Gypsum helps soils that are primarily containing silt and clay. Obviously, soil texture is sand, silt, and clay. So those soils that have more clay in them, less sand, will have more potential need for gypsum. Pure sand soils probably don't have much need for gypsum, just based on the nature of the chemistry of the soil. So as we move across Kansas, the majority of the soils actually have some potential to respond to gypsum, and it depends on if they have these problems or not. So if they do have these compaction type problems, they have clay, we can go in and look at soil tests and determine the nature of the soil and the amount of gypsum. If it's appropriate to use it, we'll know how much to use, and then begin to make that change.
Well, real quickly, we've got about 30 seconds left here. Someone who tills their farm regularly would have compaction issues.
They most likely would have some compaction issues, yes, just because of the nature of the soil, the nature of the tillage causing problems with soil structure.
Well, I'm going to keep you around for a minute. When we come back, let's talk about no-till.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
I'm Dennis Tebow. My wife and I, Kathy, are the owners of Wolf Creek Cattle Company. We have grown to approximately 70 bulls.
I'm Reese Arnold. I'm the livestock manager at Wolf Creek Cattle Company. You know, these are not just like normal cattle. These cattle, they're hauled anywhere from, 8 to 10 hours a day across the United States and asked to perform. The Multi-Man 90 keeps them kind of level. It maintains and balances their system. The stress level is less when everything's right and working right, then they're working right.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tar Water Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need. Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Dr. Dan here. Whether I'm driving up and down the roads covering the state of Kansas, or I'm getting between Riley and Manhattan for my job, I'm driving a Ford truck. I'd like you to come out and visit my friends here at Dick Edwards Ford. They have a truck that'll suit your needs, whether you're looking for power with a Power Stroke diesel, or if you're looking for fuel efficiency with the new EcoBoost engine, they got a truck that's just right for you. They're located 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall in Manhattan, Kansas, and they'll bend over backwards to help you. And I'll see you down the road.
Purple Wave is a proud supporter of the Kansas FFA through the Bid for Blue program. Purple Wave donates a portion of the proceeds earned on certain ag assets to the Kansas FFA. Winning bidders can designate a Kansas chapter to receive the donation. To date, Purple Wave is proud to have donated over $10,000. Visit purplewave.com to learn more and to place bids on Bid for Blue assets. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Association of Wheat Growers and the Kansas Wheat Commission. Together, we are Kansas Wheat.
Ron, thank you for staying with us this morning. What about no-till? I mean, we're talking about compacted soils. No-till tends to not be a compacted soil. Does it work as well for no-till?
Gypsum really works both for no-till and for tillage. When we look at both of those systems, it has to do with soil structure. And in a tilled environment, we're constantly fluffing the soil with tillage, but we're also creating a breakdown of the soil aggregate. So that lends itself to compaction. In a no-till environment, we're not breaking down that aggregate. The soil biology is slowly building those aggregates, but it also has its challenges. I think the key here is that gypsum is water soluble, and so when you put gypsum on the soil, we get rainfall on the gypsum. It actually moves down through the soil profile, and what it does is it rebalances soil chemistry. Calcium, magnesium, aluminum, sodium, those things impact soil structure, and gypsum helps to rebalance those so that the soil structure can aggregate once again. And so whether it's a tilled environment or a no-till environment, it really works the same, and the net effect is very similar on both.
Ron, it sounds like everything starts with a good soil sample to kind of know where your starting point is.
It does, yes. And because we're dealing with soil structure, soil chemistry, it's important that we know what the soil sample tells us. That helps us understand if this field has these problems. We can determine from the texture and the soil test results, will gypsum help? And if so, how much gypsum would we need to use to solve the problem? And how often and how long? And so most Kansas soils have the potential to need gypsum, depending on the particular crop, the texture, the topography, the way they've been farmed. But certainly gypsum offers some benefit to most of the soils in the state. So I would suggest that if Kansas farmers are interested in gypsum, to take a look at our website, www.gypsoil.com. We have a broad variety of information in there regarding gypsum for many areas in the United States, along with research that's been done and just general information that would be very, very helpful to the grower to really decide, yeah, you know, I think I need to check out this and if it would help me. So if that's the case, I would recommend that they contact our sales rep for Kansas, and that would be Lucas Maddie. And Lucas' cell number is 785-871-2343.
And gypsum works for all crops? I mean, or is it based heavily on corn, or does it work for beans or some of the other guys?
Really, gypsum works on the soil, and so all crops need the same type of environment to flourish. And so gypsum really, if those soils are having that problem, regardless of the crop is going to respond positively to using gypsum.
Okay. One more time, website again?
www.gypsoil.com.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
We'll have plenty more for you tomorrow here on Ag AM in Kansas. We're here every weekday, same time, same station. Or look for us on the web at agaminkansas.com. Eric Atkinson here for K-State Research and Extension.